Africa's rivers are lifelines for millions, but they're now turning into plastic dumping grounds. From the Nile to the Niger, these vital waterways are under threat from mounting plastic waste. In this video, we uncover the rising crisis of river pollution across the continent. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more eye-opening stories, and join us as we dive into this urgent issue. 1. Rivers of life under siege. African rivers like the Nile, Niger, and Congo have nourished civilizations for thousands of years. They provide water, transport, irrigation, and food for hundreds of millions across the continent. But now, these vital waterways are choking under the weight of plastic pollution and human neglect. From sprawling cities to remote villages, plastic waste finds its way into every stream and delta. These rivers are not just polluted, they are becoming long conveyor belts of toxic waste to oceans. Plastic bottles, bags, and packaging float along waters once revered for purity and abundance. The same rivers that sustain life are now delivering poison downstream and across borders. 2. Cities as plastic hotspots. Urban growth in Africa has led to an explosion in plastic consumption without proper disposal plans. Megacities like Lagos, Cairo, Nairobi, and Kinshasa generate thousands of tons of plastic daily. Streets, markets, and open gutters overflow with single-use plastics tossed without second thought. When rains come, uncollected waste is washed directly into rivers, wetlands, and urban channels. Most plastic used is cheap and disposable, offering convenience but creating long-lasting pollution. In informal settlements, lack of bins and waste pickup forces residents to dump or burn plastics. Slum areas are often built near riverbanks, where the waste flows immediately into waterways. 3. Informal waste collection crisis. In many African nations, waste management is left to informal collectors with little to no support. These workers scavenge plastic from streets and landfills, often without gloves or safety tools. They sell plastic to recycling brokers, but only high-value materials like bottles are accepted. Lower-grade plastic, like bags and wrappers, is discarded into rivers or burned in open fires. Burning plastic creates toxic smoke, harming the lungs of workers and nearby communities. Where there is no profit, there is no collection, and the river becomes the final destination. Informal collectors play a crucial role but are excluded from environmental planning decisions. 4. Plastic's impact on freshwater life. African rivers support countless fish species and aquatic plants now threatened by plastic waste. Plastic pollution blocks sunlight, changes water temperature, and reduces oxygen levels rapidly. Fish eat microplastics, mistaking them for food, causing internal damage and eventual starvation. Turtles and crocodiles become entangled in bags, netting, or ropes and suffer severe injuries. Plastic also disrupts spawning grounds, interfering with fish reproduction and life cycles. Over time, aquatic ecosystems collapse as plastic replaces nutrients, food, and clean flow. Birds feeding on river fish also ingest plastic, introducing toxins into wider food chains. 5. Health dangers for communities. Communities along polluted rivers face daily exposure to contaminated water and food. Children play near rivers where plastic breaks down, leaching chemicals into the mud. People bathe and cook with water downstream of plastic-clogged tributaries and gutters. Plastic degrades into microparticles that enter the bloodstream through drinking water. Toxins in plastic like phthalates and bisphenol A are linked to hormonal issues and cancer. Diarrhea, rashes, respiratory problems, and chronic infections are common near waste-infested rivers. Mosquitoes breed in blocked drains and plastic containers, spreading malaria and dengue fever. 6. Agricultural consequences. Many farmers rely on river water to irrigate crops, unaware of rising plastic contamination levels. Plastic debris blocks irrigation canals, creating water shortages and unexpected flooding events. Microplastics in irrigation water settle into soil, changing microbial life and soil composition. These tiny fragments interfere with root development and reduce crop yields over the seasons. Farmers using plastic mulch or packaging add even more waste to surrounding land and waterways. Cows, goats, and sheep grazing near rivers often eat plastic, leading to malnutrition or death. When livestock die from plastic ingestion, It reduces income and food availability for families. 7. Tourism and plastic footprints. River-based tourism is a growing industry across Africa, but plastic waste tarnishes its promise. Cruises along the Nile or Zambezi attract visitors, but they also generate heavy waste volumes. Many tour operators provide bottled water, snacks, and hygiene kits all in disposable plastic. Poor waste disposal practices mean much of this waste ends up in or near the rivers. Tourists often do not realize that their trash may travel hundreds of miles downstream. Local governments struggle to manage tourism growth while protecting natural beauty from trash. Hotels and lodges near rivers must adopt plastic-free policies and set better sustainability goals. Ecotourism must be more than a label. It should include real, measurable waste reduction. 8. Plastic's path to the ocean. Rivers carry nearly 80% of ocean plastic, and Africa's rivers are key contributors. Once plastic enters the Nile, Congo, or Limpopo, it eventually flows into seas and oceans. From there, it joins global gyres and floating garbage patches that threaten marine life. Coastal communities in Africa are now seeing the return of their own plastic via the tide. Fishermen pull up more plastic than fish, and beaches are buried under endless plastic debris. Ocean plastic cleanup cannot succeed if river sources remain unchecked and unregulated. To fix ocean health, we must intercept plastic at the river level before it reaches the sea. River barriers, catch nets, and filtration systems could prevent millions of tons from escaping. 9. Government gaps and policy delays. Most African nations lack robust policy enforcement on plastic production, sale, or disposal. Plastic bans exist on paper in countries like Kenya and Rwanda, but enforcement varies wildly. Corruption, lack of resources, and poor coordination limit the effectiveness of new regulations. Multinational corporations often skirt laws or repackage plastic to bypass weak oversight. Plastic production continues to rise despite public outcry and environmental warnings. There is little investment in public education about plastic waste or alternatives. Recycling initiatives exist but are small, underfunded, and limited to a few urban areas. 10. Hope through local innovation. Despite the crisis, African communities are creating grassroots solutions to plastic waste. Entrepreneurs turn plastic into bricks, textiles, boats, and road paving materials. Youth-led river cleanups and awareness campaigns are mobilizing change across cities. School children collect bottles for recycling challenges that also raise public awareness. Nonprofits are training women to lead local recycling hubs in low-income neighborhoods. Biodegradable packaging startups are emerging, using cassava, banana leaves, and hemp. Farmers are reusing plastics to build irrigation systems and greenhouses with creative methods. Plastic pollution is no longer a distant threat. It's choking the very rivers that support life across Africa. But awareness is the first step to action. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more global environmental coverage, and share this message with others. Together, we can turn the tide and protect the rivers that sustain so many communities.